With me, I have 3 young Chinese people who have volunteered their time and services here in Kenya. Before we start our discussion, let's find out who they are and what has brought them to Africa.
My name is Yating Lo. I'm working with Sino Africa Center of Excellence, which we call SACE. I'm a project manager. I manage a series of research and consulting projects that helps to facilitate China-Africa trade and investment. I think the most exciting about my job is that I'm actually changing the discourse and kind of like small characteristics of the China-Africa interactions. A lot of people would agree Africa is a continent that data hasn't been fully explored. And we are working on the front line that are generating this data, collecting them, cleaning them, and build them into what we already have. We bring people here, we also bring Africans to China and then increase the exchange and see how this kind of experience and exchange that impact on people's life and their perception. I think that's the 2 things I feel most proud of, and that's why I love my job.
I'm Yuan Zili, and I'm from Wuxi, Jiangsu Province, China. I came to Nairobi last September, so I have been here for 5 months, and I'm a volunteer Chinese teacher from Confucius Institute at the University of Nairobi. I'm teaching Chinese here. Seeing my students they could not speak Chinese at first, but after my class, they can speak a little and a little more. So that's most make me feel proud. It's not me choosing to come to Africa, but Africa chose me because I wanted to go abroad after my graduation, and so this project just starts after my graduation. So I came to Africa. Our job is for 1 year, but if you want to stay for longer, you can stay another year. So I guess maybe I will stay here for 2 years.
So my name's Joni. My Chinese name is Huang Zhaoyi, and I'm from Guangzhou, and I'm currently studying economics in the Capital University of Economics and Business. I started to work on this program since July last year. So as you can see, this is one of the schools that we work together with. So every day I'll come into the schools to discuss with the community leaders, school owners, teachers, college owners to find out what they really need, how do we use each of our expertise and skills to work on, to build on a sustainable model for teacher training. The most important thing is that you will see the children here. Like you impact the teachers. Like we help the teachers to get better training, more understanding for helping the students. And then that will be something that instantly that go into the children. And that's gonna give them a good impact that you can tell for how long. So that's the thing that gives me the biggest satisfaction.
So before we begin our discussion, let's first meet our panel for today. They live and work here in Kenya. Huang Zhaoyi, also known as Johnny, Yuan Zili, and Luo Yating. Let me start with you, Yating, first, because you've been in Kenya for the longest and you've traveled across other African countries. What have been your experiences here in Africa? First of all, why did you come to Kenya?
I first came to Kenya during my gap year in university, and I knew little about Kenya or Africa. I came here just for an internship for 3 months, but during the internship I really loved the country and loved living here, so I came back after graduation as a full-time staff.
Right, Zili?
My major is teaching Chinese to speakers of other languages, and I think maybe coming to another country is more helpful for my major, so I came to Kenya.
All right, Johnny as well. Why did you come here?
I have been fundraising for a primary school in the informal settlement, and then I decided with my friends when I was studying in the US, and then we decided that we need to work directly with the local community. So that's why I came here for like 2 months, and then we realized that there are so much things more that we can do together with the teachers here, and then I stayed here for another year.
All right, so you're going to be staying here longer than you had anticipated. Why?
Mostly because of the things that we can do about the slum teacher training program, because the entire training takes 2 years, and then we want to examine everything within a year to really understand with the Kenyan teachers about like what we can really do, how to figure out the solutions together.
Right, so you've all been here now from between 5 months to maybe 2 years. So Let me hear your experiences. So when you told your parents and your family that you were moving to Africa, what was their reaction to that?
It was definitely a no. So I actually work for a company on Sino-Africa relations. So we are trying to facilitate Sino-Africa trade investment. But when I told my parents about this, they were like, no, it's a fake company. There can't be a company like this in Kenya. So we wrote a letter to the Chinese embassy here and asked whether it's a real company and whether it's like Kenya is a suitable country for me to live in. And I did a lot of research just to show my parents it's a safe and nice place to live in.
But you were determined to come here?
Yes, I'm determined to come here. But it was a huge family fight.
Oh, right. Did you have the same experience?
Oh, no. But my parents support me because they think maybe young men should go out to broaden horizon and experience a lot. So I'm glad that they supported me.
When you were coming to Africa, of course, to Kenya, you did your research as well to find out what Kenya was about and where you were going. So now that you have been here, what do you think? What do you feel?
The research I do mostly it's in the informal settlement in education, what I'm doing right now. And so then my experience will more like compared to that side. Will be like from researchers, you will see a picture. It's more like they describe the land of more of like, numbers. 5 million Kenya children, 87% of children like, low literacy or something. But then when you are here, you will see like the actual picture. Like every day, I really enjoy that. I will stand like at the big road in Kasarani, and then you'll see the little kids, like they all go back home. They're just like any kids that like when we're young, like they're happy, they cry, they play with each other sometimes. So those are like real things that make this country real.
Yeah, I think your perception, is it the same?
So my perception of Africa, of Kenya before I came, it was very like non-business. But I think what surprised me most is the entrepreneurship I found here. So every person I talk to, they have this and that business idea. They want to change the society, change the business environment, or the transitions. And this inspired me a lot because I see a lot of like innovative ideas and people who put their actions into their idea. So I think that's a big difference between what I thought before and what I perceive now.
Right. How have your perceptions changed at all since you've been here?
Not actually not, because before I came here, Kenya is just a country to me, and I know scenery here is very beautiful. And when I came, I found Kenya is so beautiful. So this is Kenya.
Right. I see you're smiling, Johnny.
Yeah, it's greener than I thought. I thought it's sub-Sahara area. It's like all sand everywhere, but then when I'm here, like so many trees.
And that surprised you?
It's like more trees than San Diego in California.
Okay, so you've all had experiences. I mean, you've been living here now for a while. So let's start with you, Yating. What kind of experiences have you had in Kenya over the last 2 years?
My favorite and most frequent one is about my name. So, my name is Lo Yating, and Lo is a very normal family name in China. And when I talk to people about my name, I'll give them my business card. The first question will always be, did you change your name because there's a tribe here called Lo? I was like, probably no, but probably we are from the same ancestor, because my community, like back in times, they're also fish for life. We are coastal, like we live in coastal areas. And they were like, yeah, that's like Lo in Kisumu. They also fish for life. So we're like, there will be some connections, maybe in history.
Right. Some of your experiences. Give us some of your experiences.
I find people here are very friendly. One day when I was walking on the street, and I put my phone in my hand, and the soldier just passed, and he told me, so maybe you can put your phone in your pocket, and it's not safe just to put in your hand. So and today when I had my lunch in a restaurant, the beautiful lady gave me a piece of watermelon. So I think people here are really friendly here.
Right. You all seem very happy, Johnny.
Yeah, similar thing. Like I like reading. So when I'm in the matatu, like the conductor will tell me, like, put away your book or put away your phone. And like sometimes, and then one time, like when I was in the matatu, and then the conductor overcharged me. Then like half of the car like helped me to get my money back, and tell me like, if I'm in your country, you won't do this to me. I was like, yeah, definitely.
Right. So you've had different experiences here. I want to find out the kind of similarities or the differences that you think exist between Chinese and Kenyan cultures, or Chinese and African cultures in social life, cultural, in terms of food, if any.
I think girls in China and in Africa, people love beauty, all the same. So people spend time in buying accessories, and we gossip together. So like the most common, because unlike people think in China, like when you talk with African friends or local friends, you don't really talk about like China-Africa relations or like the like history of the two countries, but we actually gossip together about how Kenyan men and Chinese men cheat, how like you buy accessories from online websites, you buy clothes from this and here and there. I think that's a common thing.
Right. Johnny, where do you find similarities or differences in the cultures?
When the people, like you really got to work together, like for me it's I work with teachers mostly, then they will start to build like the really strong bonding between you two, and then they will start to treat you really nice, just like your family members or something. Like one time, like I got like a tiny bit of alcohol, and then I got like some allergic, so I itch all day. And then like the two teachers that I work with, they were like, "Oh my God, Johnny!" Like they would become like the motherly figure, and then they start like panicking, "Johnny, don't drink!" And they will also tell me like, if my daughter is your age, I'm definitely not letting her go, or like start to care about you. So that's something that really make you feel close. Just like when you're back in China, people are also very, close to each other when they really find you're a good person.
Right. Zili?
I'm a teacher, so to me, so students here in Kenya are hardworking. So if you give them homework, usually they will do that and give you in time. But some of them like to be late. But I'm happy they are getting better now. Most of them can come on time now.
Right. So you have African friends. You have different friends from different cultures. How do they treat you?
I think it starts with differences and then comes to similarities. So when you first meet a person, when I first meet a friend or something, they will always ask about China. For example, when I was at the workshop, it's some research workshop, and except me, they are all Africans. And during the tea break, there's a gentleman that keep doing kung fu posture beside me like for 15 minutes. I was like, I don't know how to do kung fu. Like that's on TV. Not many Chinese know how to do kung fu. But later when people, like when I make friends with like Africans and Kenyans, and as time goes by, like maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, people talk about normal things like family, like work, complaints, food. So I think that's a change.
Right, Johnny?
One thing similar to Atin that happened to me, but in a less friendly way. Like I walk on the street, and then there is like a Kenyan young man just come and then try to punch me because he assumes that I know kung fu. But like for normal friends, they're very nice. Like they would invite you to go to church sessions, even the teachers, and then they would invite you to go to like big occasions of their families, like and then they will also invite you to go to their hometown, like up country, to take a visit or something, to just make you really feel like home.